Why do women like older men?
I love older men.
Oh.
My boyfriend's 8 years older than I am, but I've also dated older than that. They just seem more stable. Yeah, like you're going to be more princessed with an older man.
What do you think it is about like a younger guy that's not as attractive?
They're non-committal. I feel like they're going to cheat on you. They're using social media as a way to like talk to women too much. They're using Snapchat. They're on all the apps. And I don't like that. Older men don't have all that. They're not on Snapchat. They're not on all the apps.
Do you know what I find hotter than a man with a six-pack or a man with a really good haircut or a man with shiny toys or like whatever they use to like flex these days? It's a man with daddy energy. And by daddy energy, I mean like a provider. Like it's a providing energy. Like a man who's just going to take care of you, not necessarily financially, but like emotionally and physically. And he just shows up. He's a man of his word. Or he goes and grabs the door for you, not because he's trying to impress you, but like he literally does that for everybody. Or he checks on you like, did you make it home okay? How are you feeling emotionally? Like checks in on you. Yeah, and like I'm at the point now where it doesn't even matter if you're older, if you're younger, if you have a six-pack, if you don't have a six-pack, if you have a full hairline or you don't have a full hairline. It's what's your energy. And if you don't have daddy energy, I can't do it. I feel like I've been with too many men with baby energy, and it's put me into like a motherly place where I almost don't even want to have kids anymore because I've done nothing but raise.
Do you know what dad energy means? It's a traditional, providing, well-mannered man. The kind of man who treats his woman with respect. Personally, I tell every man who has a good woman, listen carefully, a good woman, to do this. A lot of young women nowadays are dating older men, between 35 and 45, the prime stage of a man's life, because they're looking for men who carry that energy. Because this kind of man will spoil her, but he'll also command respect. Many women are attracted to a man with a strong character. It's no coincidence that you hear people say feminine energy is chaos and masculine energy is calm. The next video is a clear example of that.
Where are you going?
I'm about to get out.
No, sit back in the car. It's too hot out here. 100 degrees out here. What would you like to have, my queen? Man got to take care of his woman. So what would you like to have, my queen?
I don't
It's
know.
too hot for you to get out. I want you to stay and be cool.
Okay, because I was about to ask you why you had the car running.
Don't worry about it. I want you to stay cool. Keep the air conditioner running. I ain't gonna take care of you, baby.
Okay, just surprise me.
I got you. All right.
All right.
Bye, boo.
Shopping on the daily, Big Daddy, that's cool. Oh, ain't that what I'm supposed to do?
Okay.
Princess, I'm sorry, queen. Your food is waiting for you, my dear.
You got me something to eat?
Yeah,
I thought you just give me a
smoothie. And I got your sandwich and chips.
Okay.
I'm just doing the things that a man's supposed to do for his queen.
Okay.
All right. Love you, boo. Let's get this thing moving. All right.
Okay.
Anything else you need, boo?
Practice.
Shopping.
Practice make perfect.
You need shopping? What else you need there, baby? What else you need?
Let's go shopping.
Let's go shopping?
Yeah, let's go shopping.
Put it on hold.
Even though this is dramatized, this is the real energy. Many women love being treated this way, if not all of them. This is when you realize it's a good idea to save for old age. But jokes aside, this man takes care of his woman, and I'm all for that. This woman likes her older man because of the way he treats her. The best couples almost always have an age difference. I'm sure we'll see plenty of comments from men and hopefully from women too, confirming this opinion. So if you're between 25 and 45, brother, you're entering your prime if you do things right.
And whenever I say I like older men, I like older men.
My goodness, I feel like I'm gonna pinch myself.
I'm talking 10 years older than I like my men like 30 plus. I'm talking nice and right, baby. Like So my last relationship, there was a 10-year age gap. Because I feel like men get a little better. They get a little better once they hit their 30s because their hairline starts receding. So reality starts slapping them in the face.
Shut up.
I like my men with their hairline ever so slightly receding and their hair thinning out. That's when they get their shit together, and that's what I like.
To each their own, brothers. The truth is, women are looking for more than youth or looks. They're looking for emotional stability and leadership in a man. An older man who has his life together and knows where he's going creates a safe environment where a woman can connect with her femininity without fear or chaos. A man who knows how to steer the ship. The problem is that a lot of young men waste time trying to impress with superficial things, forgetting that true attraction lies in confidence, self-respect, and the ability to make firm decisions. Having your body, mind, and finances in order is the foundation for becoming the kind of man a woman wants by her side. And that same confidence you project is what makes immature or bitter women burn with envy, like the one in the next video.
If you're a young woman dating an older dude for money, make sure you're actually getting money. And if he only wants to give you gifts, you better do your market research and figure out what handbags and what jewelry goes for retail value or higher once you resell it. Because there's no way you're selling your youth to this nasty ass old man in return for some trendy bag that 2 years from now has lost half its value or more. You are worth more than that. And you're not doing it for trips either. What the fuck is the point of, I don't know, Palm Springs if it's with some old ass dude on your hand? Ew, disgusting, gross, don't do it. Nobody needs to travel that badly, especially not you, babe. I can tell you that right now. You need to get money completely, fully, cold hard cash, or you need to get something that you can pawn, essentially. Because, sorry, my eye was itching. Because what you need to worry about is securing a home and a car and paid in full. And if you're not getting the money to do so, and I'm not talking about like they pay your rent on a monthly basis. Again, you're stuck, you're trapped, they own you. Don't, it's not worth it. You need to make sure that that situation sets you up for life or you don't do it. Do you get what I'm saying? Don't sell your soul for a bit of change. Don't do it.
Here we have the other side of the coin. You can clearly see the typical woman who used to date older, wealthy men, and most likely did everything she's now telling younger women not to do. Simply because she didn't make the most of her time, she ended up with nothing, no glory, no legacy. Now that she's hit the wall, probably in her 40s, she no longer has the privileges she once enjoyed in her youth. Envy is a feeling that poisons the soul. This usually happens to women who chase too big of an age gap and go through life as gold diggers, thinking those men don't see through their real intentions. They forget that no one becomes wealthy by being stupid. If you have any doubts, just take a look at the woman in the next video. She's on her way to ending up just like this one.
Women.
Listen, I date men that are worth over $50 million, which means that if you think asking for a black car being sent to you by just a regular person is like not achievable, you need to raise your standards. I ask them sometimes on the first date, but definitely by the second date, to give me a gift. Now, I'm not going to tell them what to gift me because I want to see how generous they are. But they are not allowed to get me flowers because I already get myself flowers every week. Like, I don't need flowers, please. And I have a cat. You're going to fucking kill her. I have like literally standards and like ways that I conduct myself. So if you, as a man who is worth $50 million, generating millions of dollars, a lot of them are worth hundreds of millions of dollars because of their businesses. And they can't do small stuff like that. They can't put a date together, something nice, something generous, like a good conversation, like talk to me about what it is that you are going to do for me, how you're going to woo me, like talk about future plans, get to know me as a person. Like, no. Also, there's like no opening my legs. That's not a thing. That's not a thing. It's not on the table. It will never be. And I get everything that I want. They give me everything that I want and beyond. Because at the end of the day, a guy who has a CEO mindset, who is telling the entire world what to do every day, wants to be told what to do. You got to whip him into shape. Whip him. I'm not here to conform to him. I am not here to please him. He is there to please me. He is there to serve me. He is there to give me. Again, this is a very high, powerful, net worth individual. So, not your average person who's making like less than 150K. And even like between 150 to like 400, it's a similar mindset because they got bills and savings and all of that. Like, you got to go for the millions, honey. You got to go for the millions and never ever sleep with them, because what if the next guy's richer that they introduce you to and like nicer and kinder and more generous and more fun? Keep your options open.
Oh, hell no!
Women really buy into this narrative because the comments are full of gold diggers. The strange part is that she claims everyone gives her what she wants, that she always gets her way, except no man actually stays with her. These are the types of women who think they're the most valuable, but in reality, they're the easiest, because you know they have a price, and their value is tied to how much money you're willing to spend on them. If you can afford it, enjoy her, have a good time, and then move on. If you've got the money, it's like paying for an expensive vacation that you really enjoyed. Because she's not wife material, she's just for fun. That's why they hit the wall hard, ending up alone and broke. The wall doesn't forgive.
There is no male loneliness epidemic. It is a loser epidemic. Men would rather be alone than to evolve and change, than to recognize, wait, maybe I had it wrong. Maybe there's something I need to change. If you can't get a woman because none of them want to be with you, maybe try and figure out why. Instead of making women the problem, saying that their standards are too high, maybe try and figure out why they don't want to be with you. What is it about you that maybe needs to change in order for a woman to want you? And they'll say, oh, there's no more good women left. Women are not like what they used to be. Women used to spend their days in the kitchen. Women only cared about taking care of the house and the kids. Oh yeah, and also women used to take our beatings. Women used to stay quiet. Women didn't complain. Women didn't think they could get better. Women didn't have confidence and self-worth and weren't able to speak up for themselves. And that suited you. That's the kind of person you wanted. If you love your mum's generation so much, cool, maybe marry one of her single friends. Women are not the problem. They have just woken up and realized they deserve better, that they don't actually need anything from these men, and they're only going to accept a man in their life if the man can make their life better. And if you cannot do that, you will not be chosen. If you can't level up and be the kind of man that women of this day and age want, you won't get to have a woman in this day and age. Your tricks are not working anymore. The internalized misogyny, the oppression, all of that, it's not working anymore. Women are waking up from it. Women are healing. Women are learning to love themselves and their own company. Women are learning to support and love each other and have communities and have friendships that are valuable and fulfilling. We now know that getting married and having children is a choice, that you don't have to do that, that is not what makes you successful or fulfilled in life. In fact, having kids when you haven't healed yourself and you don't know your own worth is actually the problem. It's why so many, if not all of us, have childhood traumas, have issues. What's happening right now is very normal. It's called evolution. It's happened many times before. When conditions change in the world, you either evolve to survive or you get left behind. This is evolution. Instead of complaining about it, evolve.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
It's very strange for a woman to talk about evolution when her way of thinking clearly doesn't evolve. Nowadays, a woman can call a man a loser just for not being successful, for living with his parents, or for not being tall enough. But if she's in the same situation, unsuccessful, buried in student debt, living with her mother, that doesn't make her a loser, right? Today, more women go to college than men. Many earn as much or even more, but when it comes to relationships, they don't want to contribute financially. They want a provider, a man who earns more, who supports them and pulls them out of their routine. And how much is more? For most, it means someone making 5 figures a month or more, but that's a very small group. There aren't enough of those men for everyone, yet they still believe they deserve one.
So unfortunately, right now, we live in a society where men are weak. It's why I often talk about masculinity on the show. I'm trying to see what examples men are even following. And I think we all realize now we are facing a crisis. We are facing a crisis of manhood. Not only are men not acting like men in terms of leading their homes responsibly, starting families, making sure that they raise up their children to be strong individuals, but men don't even stand by their words nowadays, right? I remember Growing up, my grandfather used to tell me that they could just do deals on a handshake. Oh, I'll do this, you'll do that. Shake hands, walk away. And no, just look the man in the eye and know that he meant what he said. You could never do that now. You need contracts, you need lawyers, you need 50,000 pages. And still, if after you've signed a 50,000-page lawsuit, it's likely that he might do something to screw you over, him or her, right? Because nobody means what they say anymore. And that's upsetting.
Today, marriage is no longer a commitment between two people. It's become a dangerous gamble for men. There's no real incentive for a man to sign a contract where he's the only one who loses if the other person breaks the deal. Most divorces in this country are filed by women, around 70%. But is it really the man's fault for not wanting to lead his household, when many women don't even want a husband? They want to live like single women while being married. Many would rather leave their husbands, claim single motherhood, and collect a check from the state. So how can you ask a man to be the strong leader of the household when the average marriage today doesn't even last 3 years? How can you ask that when that same man ends up bankrupt the moment she decides to leave?
These men are literally so threatened by a woman just enjoying her singlehood and her own peace that they're like, you're fucking single, as that's an insult. It's a privilege to be single. I don't see you as my source of happiness. I don't see you as my source of money. I don't see you as my source of anything. So yeah, I'm fucking single. Why would I want to be with a fucking loser like you? Okay, first of all, I don't date losers. All right? Okay? I've dated emotionally unavailable men, but kick them to the curb immediately. But I don't date fucking losers. They know how to fucking treat me because I know how to fucking treat me. You think you can fucking impress me with what, flowers after the 5th fucking date? Please shut the fuck up. Sit the fuck down. We have our power. We don't fucking need you. In fact, the wage gap is changing. Are you not happy about that? Are you not happy that we can do things? We are more educated than you. We own more than you now. Sit the fuck down, learn something from us, or step to the fucking side, you little witchy, whiny ass bitch. Honestly, they piss me off so much, and I try to be classy, but I don't give a fuck anymore. I don't give a fuck because I'm not trying to fucking filter myself for a fucking man. You think I'm a bitch? I am a fucking bitch, okay? You think I'm masculine? I will fucking teach you how to be masculine. My femininity is my strength. I'm not going to sit there and fight with you. No. I'm going to show you how to be poised and classy. And I will curse you out on the internet because I don't fucking know you. And I will show you off, baby. So yeah, you're fucking pissed off because we're doing better than you. Fucking work on yourself like we are. Focus on yourself. Stop focusing on us. Stop focusing on us. I don't know why all these men are focused on us. Sit your fucking ass down and do the fucking work and stop fucking being a little bitch loser, okay? On the internet being bitch, your paycheck is like less than $500. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Okay? Your worth is tied to money. My worth is tied to how I perceive myself, how hard I work on myself, my body, my mind, everything else. Shut the fuck
So, your value lies in how you perceive yourself? You're over 30, you're at the wall, you don't have a man or a family. And if you stay on that path, you likely won't have children either. Yet you still feel morally superior enough to insult a man. This is the typical mindset that dominates in many modern women. That's why men are focusing on themselves and distancing from these kinds of profiles. Out there are plenty of hardworking men who have chosen to step away from the dating market. And for a woman to say she doesn't need a man, when the world she lives in is built, protected, and maintained by men, is a massive irony.
There isn't a male loneliness epidemic. Please grow up. There is a loser epidemic. And this problem has been very prevalent for a long time. It's just that because of social media and the digital era, men are loud about it. I wish they would suffer in silence. These are really, whenever I look at all when I go on Hinge, Tinder, or Bumble, the amount of loser profiles shows me how much men don't want to put in an effort. I think they took the literal term people will love you for who you are. Men took that and ran a little bit too far. I think somebody needs to tell them who you are sucks. No one will love you for who you are. You need to become a honey person. Because the male loneliness epidemic is just a bunch of losers. Losers who don't, what's the word I'm looking for? Natural selection would eliminate them. You know what I'm saying? In natural selection, if we didn't have opposable thumbs and it was like, jungle life, they would be the meal. So I just feel like we need to stop making it seem like there's a problem and just tell people, you're a loser!
Today, marriage is no longer a commitment between two people. It's become a dangerous gamble for men. There's no real incentive for a man to sign a contract where he's the only one who loses if the other person breaks the deal. Most divorces in this country are filed by women, around 70%. But is it really the man's fault for not wanting to lead his household, when many women don't even want a husband? They want to live like single women while being married. Many would rather leave their husbands, claim single motherhood, and collect a check from the state. So how can you ask a man to be the strong leader of the household when the average marriage today doesn't even last 3 years? How can you ask that when that same man ends up bankrupt the moment she decides to leave?
The most dangerous person in the world, we're producing millions of them, and that is a lonely, young, broke male. The number of high school teenagers that sees their friends every day has been cut in half, that we're slowly but surely sequestering from each other. And when we do that, we become less mammalia. If you have dogs are happiest when they're lying on top of you. The worst thing you can do to a dog is leave it alone all day. And what we're doing to young people is they are leaving others and themselves alone all day. We're separating from each other. We're becoming less social. And there's a group of men who aren't received well at school, don't find a source of pride. Auto shop, metal shop, wood shop's gone away. They go online to date. The majority of them get rejected. If your average attractiveness in online dating, you have to swipe right 200 times to get a single coffee. If you set up 5 coffees, you'll get 1 will actually show up. 4 of the 5 will ghost you and decide later on they don't actually want to meet up. So a young man of average attractiveness in online dating has to swipe right 1,000 times. So he gets validation for 1 coffee. He gets validation that he has no worth to the other sex. He loses confidence. He starts engaging with people because he has less opportunities for random encounters where he has to develop those skills. And slowly but surely, he sequesters from society. And at some point, he just is not really savable. He just never develops those skills around friendship or romantic relationships. In the United States, 1 in 7 men doesn't have a single friend. 1 in 4 can't name a best friend. In addition, marriage has become now a luxury item. If you're in the upper quartile of income-earning households, there's a 3 in 4 chance you're going to get married. If you're in the lower quotile, there's a 3 in 4 chance you will never get married.
I completely agree. The worst part is that many women mock the situation, without thinking that if they get married tomorrow and have a son, he could end up just like those men, because this is quickly becoming an epidemic. On top of that, it hurts women even more when they're left alone without a partner. They forget that there are almost 7 million more women than men. And if we subtract lesbians, that leaves about 5 to 6 million women who will never have a man. Of the available men, only about 40% are actively dating. The rest try and fail. That's why we see so many women over 30 single, with almost no intimate life. And yet many still attack men, embracing a feminism that puts a target on guys who aren't to blame for anything. Now more than ever, men need to support each other, because the future is looking bleak.
Women.
So my sister made a video about how my whole entire family gets EBT. And everyone is calling us bums because we don't work and we live off the government. And we are proud of that. Growing up, this is what we were taught. We were taught to not have to work. We were taught to live off the government because it is there for us to use. And from what I could remember, it all started back with my grandparents. My grandparents used to get the paper, like the paper coupons to go and pay for, food and stuff like that. And that's when I was like, this is free money. Like, what? So living off of EBT is literally a tradition in our family. Once my grandparents passed away, my mom started, applying and she got approved for all 6 of us kids. And then, once my sister got older, she had her first child, she applied for food stamps and she got, it was just like, a domino effect. One after another, we all got approved for EBT.
And guess what? It's not going to stop there. Why? Because I have taught my children, and I'm going to be teaching my grandchildren, that they should do the same thing. They don't have to work. They could just have children, put themselves on EBT, get child support, all of that I do so I don't have to work. They could do it themselves too.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
This is outrageous. That's why I completely agree with taking away their food stamps. People get used to not wanting to work, and the worst part is that the ones who have the most kids are usually the ones living off these benefits, perpetuating the same cycle. How are they supposed to want to work and be productive members of society if their parents never taught them that, because they themselves never were? How are they going to strive to get ahead if no one in their family does? You are a reflection of the 50% of the people around you. If your family lives off the government, there's a high chance you'll end up the same way.
Trump has cut my food stamps from $2,800 down to $350. Now, what am I supposed to do? Huh? So I literally just got this piece of mail today saying that due to new policy changes from the Trump administration, all this shit, whatever, that all these cuts and whatever he's doing over there, now they're telling me I have to go work. Now I have to go do all this. Well, I literally got 5 kids. Okay. I'm trying to sit here and spend time with them. I'm not trying to go work, 50, 60 hours a week so I can pay bills. I just really don't understand. I voted for him this last election because I thought what he had good was going on, but now all of a sudden, all this policy stuff's coming out, and now he's making all these cuts, and now he doesn't want to help the less fortunate people no more. I'm done with that guy. I'm not. If he gets voted in again, I'm leaving this country. Because I'm not dealing with this no more. This is all shit.
Hey, bro. What? Oh my God!
How do you leave the country if you have no money? This is a country being drained by parasites. When a society only wants to live off handouts, it loses all motivation to work or build something. Why would they want to start a business or improve themselves if they know that doing so means losing their benefits? Half of the productive population is literally supporting the other half that doesn't want to do anything. And the most alarming part is that the lazy ones reproduce more. While a couple of professionals can barely plan for 1 or 2 kids, these people have 4 to 6. What kind of example are they setting for those kids? If their parents never worked or aspired to anything, why would their children be any different? You are a reflection of the 50% of the people around you.
I went into a lady's house for an inspection. And she said, I've had my voucher for 50 years. I made sure that I got my daughter on a voucher. I made sure I got my granddaughter on a voucher. I couldn't get my son on a voucher. So I told them that he had asthma. You can't prove asthma or migraines. She told me because she was telling me a way to scam the system. Because when I pull up in a 2013 Toyota Camry. There's usually a Lexus or BMW sitting in their yard. I look poor, okay? I look poor. And so many people tell me stuff to give me ideas to help me out so that I can get some money from the government. But y'all keep on thinking I don't know it, okay? And since every one of you are going to ask me, yes, I reported it. But if your caseworker likes you, you are pretty untouchable here. Like they will give you ideas and help you do it.
If you come from a family that has always lived off the government, you're likely to repeat the pattern. That's why you see so many women raising their kids the same way they were raised, with multiple fathers, lots of kids, and a government check as a life plan. If you look at the times of greatest productivity in this country, it was when there were fewer handouts. More people were willing to work, more folks were starting small businesses, More fathers were teaching skills to their kids so they could work in the family business. You don't see that anymore, especially not among the children of people who live off those benefits. If my grandma drives a Lexus, pays little to nothing because she gets government assistance, and lives in a nice house, why wouldn't I want the same? Why would I work 8 hours a day for a paycheck if the government can give me money just for existing? And if I have a kid, even more money. On top of that, there's the child support she gets for that kid. That's the mindset of these types of people. That's why you'll never see anyone from those families creating value for society.
Let's go to Costco, family of 6 that receives food stamps.
I did one video on the Medicaid lady and my algorithm is now just fucked with food stamp food hauls. All right, you want to put it out in the public? Then I'm going to go ahead and pick it apart. Let's see what you got.
I'm going to go look for trash cans because mine broke and I really want the side-by-side ones. So let's go see if they have them.
Trash can talk really got me because I can remember when my youngest was born, we were super duper duper fucking broke and we needed a new trash can and I had to shave $20 off of my grocery budget so that I could buy a $20 trash can from Walmart, and we still have it. It's in our bathroom. It was one of the Rubbermaid ones. You know what I'm talking about? I remember it because I really did want one of these. I still don't have one of these because I can't justify spending over $100 on a trash can. Newsflash, at the end of the video, she doesn't get her trash can from Costco. She has to order it from Amazon because Costco didn't have it. We're not off to a good start.
Buddy, grab it.
Oranges, the onions, the chicken, fantastic. You're gonna make some fantastic dishes with that. Dishes that are gonna last you probably a couple meals. Cotton candy grapes cost a little bit more than the regular grapes. We can't afford to buy cotton candy grapes. The cookies is wild. Okay, for $10 you can buy everything that you need to make chocolate chip cookies and it will last you. You'll make up to 130 or so cookies if you do them in batches. You can freeze those cookies and they'll last you probably a good 2 weeks. Ask me how I know, because we had to start doing this. Because we were also buying prepackaged cookies and then we couldn't afford it anymore. And so I had to start buying the ingredients and making cookies at home so that my kids had snacks. Well, let's carry on.
Can you even pick that up? Oh my gosh, muscles. So they didn't have the trash can that I wanted, so I'll just have to order it on Amazon. All right. Sure. Put it on the bottom, please. You have to lay it down, baby.
And you lost me. Again, we used to buy these, but we couldn't afford to do it anymore. Same with these. Chicken nuggets, fine. The bread, fine. You got a couple frozen pizzas under there. That's pretzels, also something we can't afford to buy. Big ass pack of yogurt. I mean, yeah, it's probably better than the packaged cookies at the end of the day, but we couldn't afford a big ass. I can't afford to buy any of this shit on a weekly basis or bi-week or even monthly. I can't afford it.
Hour in and out of Costco, stuck to my list pretty well, and ended up spending $375, and then we have to go pick up a Walmart order for $65, $440 total. It wasn't enough that I spent $440, but Walmart decided to not give me some of my items, so I'm going to run into Target real quick and grab the rest of what I need.
My weekly budget for groceries is $200. This is a monthly haul, and it's quite possible. My $200 also includes laundry detergent, dishwasher detergent, dish soap, hand soap, like all that odds and ends type of shit that you need for a house. My actual food budget is probably closer to $120. That puts me at right around $500 for a family of 4. I have to budget so close, like within it's, and there's no way in hell we would be able to get any kind of SNAP benefits, or even if I could, like I wouldn't because, you know, we aren't going to do that. Technically, we don't need it. I always saw SNAP and welfare and food benefits for people who really need it, for people who randomly, you know, just lost their jobs and are in dire financial straits or had house fires and lost it. See, when I think of that, that's what I think. And you had said in your comments, you and your husband are both students. He works 50 hours a week. You undoubtedly make money on TikTok, maybe. I'm not sure. I didn't look that close. I'm fine with my taxpayer dollars going to help people in need, but when you come out on the internet and you show everybody all of the garbage that you're buying with, I mean, you get defensive when people call you out on it. It's fucking wild.
It's infuriating to see this. You know that if you don't get up at 6 a.m. today to get ready and go to work, your family won't have food on the table. And then you see people who don't use money to move forward. They turn into parasites of society, doing everything they can to squeeze every last cent out of the system. Are they truly in need? No, they're not. Did you see any disability? I didn't see anything. What I saw was someone who simply doesn't want to work. I'm sure many people watching this video have 2 jobs. And if they're married, their wife works too, just to survive. They're constantly juggling money, cooking at home, cutting back on going out just to have some kind of emergency savings. Meanwhile, you see people like this with money in their bank account, nice cars, shopping in excess. And all of it, why? Because you, the one who works, are the one supporting them. That's not how it should be.
Come shopping with me at Sam's Club as a recently unemployed wife to a family of 9 using EBT. Anyway, we've officially made it through 1 month of summer break, and man, did it deplete literally everything we had in the house last. Despite my best efforts to keep a budget, I absolutely failed. I went over by more than $100 at Sam's, and I'm sure I'll pay for that later in the month. But I didn't really have a choice in my defense because these kids depleted every single thing we had in the fridge, pantry, and freezer. Anyway, this is nothing new. It happens every single year during summer break, so I'm not even surprised in the slightest. I would also like to state here this is not a complaint, but I digress. Anyway, my daughter decided that she wanted to play that little game where you go up and down the aisle and you point to something, and when the person says stop, whatever you land on is what you buy. She cheated. She wanted hot chips, so she changed it at the very last second. But whatever, I let her get what she wanted. And last but certainly not least, thank you to Sam's Club for giving us this pizza and this ice cream for free. We appreciate it. Okay, that's all. Bye.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
This is the result of decades of policy based on feelings instead of merit. The system rewards those who don't produce and punishes those who wake up early. While the working father is counting coins to fill his fridge, an unemployed woman with kids she didn't raise with responsibility lives with full refrigerators, vacations, and free ice cream, courtesy of the taxpayer. And the worst part isn't that temporary support exists, but that it's become a lifestyle. Dependence is glorified, and anyone who demands personal effort is ridiculed. In a healthy country, the man provides, but society also respects the value of work. Here, that principle has been twisted. The one who works ends up paying so others can enjoy life without producing anything. A system like that can't last long, and those who keep justifying it are signing the death sentence of the middle class.
Why are you so miserable? Are you jealous that you can't afford to have these things? Are you mad that you don't qualify for EBT? Jealous? No. Fatigued? A smidge. Somebody else in my comments said that I don't know why you even care so much. It's only about $4 a month that comes out of your taxes to go towards the EBT program. $4 a month times 12 months is $48. $48 is enough to cover a week's worth of breakfasts and lunches for myself, my husband, and my kids. And every single person that I stitched on here was a stay-at-home mom. Bertha here has an entire series about how she spends her $1,000 of EBT that she gets every single month. $1,000. And then she even admitted in that series that she quit her full-time job so that she could stay home with her kids and then applied for food stamps. She then went and spent a couple $100 redoing her son's room and then another couple $100 redoing her daughter's room. And you can go in and click on her Amazon link because it's all in there. Go buy it. With all due respect, aren't you the party of no consumerism and consumerism is bad? Is this not? Is this shit not consumerism? This not consumerism? What do you call it then? Tell me. I want to know. Tell me. Tell me. I'm fatigued. Everybody wants to know why we don't fight back when it comes to the government because we got half a population that's dependent on the government and it has zero interest in giving that up. Give me back my $48. None of these women are struggling. They're selfish and entitled because if they were struggling, they would do everything that they possibly could to make that stretch an entire month. Be using that money for meat that they could freeze, that they could use for meals. Instead, they're using it to buy chips and coffee creamers and energy drinks. So fuck out of here with your comment.
Absolutely infuriating. That woman spends in a single month what many families can't even spend in 2, and she does it with no concern, knowing she'll get more money from the government next month. Meanwhile, you have to work, your wife has to work, and together you barely manage to get by, missing out on your children's childhood in the process. Going on social media to show off how good she lives while being a parasite of the system is a direct slap in the face to those who work hard every single day. That kind of behavior encourages more people to live off the backs of others. The result? Taxes go up to keep supporting these freeloaders. That money should be used, at most, to provide healthy, organic food to a few truly needy families. Only vegetables, no junk food. So at least local farmers benefit from state-funded consumption. And what about our retirees? Our veterans? The truly sick? They get nothing. They're the ones who actually made this country great. Not these people. That's why I support what Trump is doing. Hopefully, he keeps stripping away the privileges from those who never wanted to contribute.
Here's something to watch out for when you're on the dating apps. You want to make sure that that guy is 100% divorced, not separated, and not a year or two out. They need to be like 3 to 5 years out. Because here's the thing. That woman threw him back into the dating pool. She didn't want him anymore. And his ego is so busted and bruised that he is not going to know what to do with you when you enter his life. He's going to love bomb the crap out of you, and then he is going to dump you. Because the last thing a guy that just got divorced wants is any drama. And anything you do that is a real life situation is going to feel like drama to them. And they're not going to be able to handle it. And you're going to be left out in the cold with a guy who love bombed the crap out of you and promised you the world. And then when it came down to it, he was just really looking for validation. And he just wanted to feel wanted and admired again. So be really, really careful. Again, go slow. Make sure that they are fully divorced and they're out of the divorce for 3 to 5 years.
Modern divorced women come with 2 labels: baggage and justification. They want you to accept the failure of another relationship as if it weren't a red flag. They paint their ex as the bad guy, as if they were saints who never did anything wrong. But when a man sees that you left someone you swore loyalty to and did it voluntarily, he can't trust that you'll be any different with him. Because it's not that you don't know what commitment is, it's that you've already proven you're willing to break one. So that makes you damaged goods too.
If your husband is ever looking for appreciation for doing the chores, don't bring up how you don't get appreciation. Just ask him why. Why do you feel you deserve appreciation for this? I want you to answer that question because maybe if I understand it, I can better appreciate you more. Because what's going to end up happening is he is now going to have to explain to you that the reason he deserves appreciation for doing chores is because he doesn't believe it's his job to begin with. He's looking for an attaboy for helping because that's what mommy used to do. Asking them why allows them to get uncomfortable about it. And with discomfort comes change, hopefully.
It is so crazy to me how many women still think that their marriages are going to work without any kind of appreciation. How hard is it to show your husband a little bit of appreciation? It's not hard at all. The problem is a lot of y'all hate your husband so much that even a little bit of ounce of appreciation is too much for you. And let's just call it what it is. Women live in these marriages where they will literally gaslight these men into believing that they aren't even good at any of the personal things that they're doing around the house, like house chores, because they don't want these men to be more successful or do better than them. So what do? They belittle them. They don't show appreciation. They make them feel small intentionally so they can feel superior to the men in their household. Let's just imagine the role reversal on this, where men didn't thank you for breastfeeding. Men didn't thank you for changing a diaper. I could even go as far as to say that men aren't even going to thank you for pushing out that baby because that's your chore and that's your duty. Women always want to play this game, but what they don't understand is that if men matched this same energy, the entire household would crumble in seconds because he is the one keeping it all together. With an attitude like this, can we all really wonder why the divorce rate is so high? Because it's not actually about thanking him for doing basic shit. It's thanking him and giving him reinforcement for doing those things. It's showing gratitude for helping make the marriage thrive. Because we all know that if he did nothing and you came home to a disgusting house, or he didn't do shit like take out the trash, then you'd build up that resentment and divorce him anyway. So on one hand, you don't want to thank him, but on the other hand, if he didn't do it, you'd still be kind of mad. The crazy part about this is women will cry about their mental load and all of the load of responsibilities that they have to do and cry about it all day long. But let's just put this into perspective. When a man helps you with something, guess what? He's considering all of the things that you already have on your plate. He is stepping in to make your life easier. Isn't that what a marriage is? And isn't that what a thriving marriage does? You thank each other for the little things and you show that you recognize that they're taking the time to think about you and consider doing the little things so you don't have to? Or are you just so
self-centered and disgusting that you can't even thank the people around you for the little things. That's like not thanking a person for holding the door open for you, because that's what they're supposed to do. You cannot expect a happy marriage if you go through life with this mentality, because at the end of the day, a little appreciation goes a long way. And it's something along the lines of like 40% of all men feel unappreciated within their marriages. And that's like the 5th thing on the list for reasons why people get divorced. Okay, bye.
This woman deserves a beer. It really is like this. Women always want everything they do to be recognized. So much so that I can guarantee you've heard this phrase. Behind every great man, there's a great woman. They're always seeking recognition. There are men who've worked their whole lives for their families and have never received from their wives, who enjoy all the benefits, something as simple as a thank you, a word of encouragement, or a sincere compliment. But they expect you to give them that. They're always talking about mental load, which is really just getting annoyed every time you ask them about something they're responsible for. And what bothers me the most, they never admit that a big part of the life they have is thanks to having a great man by their side. If you doubt it, look up the list of the 100 richest women in the world. Over 90% of them got their thanks to a divorce from a successful man.
Women.
What's your age?
51. 57.
Married how long?
31 years.
How do you keep a relationship together for 3+ decades?
We divorced early in our relationship. And when we got back together, we decided the D word was not an option.
So you had to divorce to come back, make the union stronger, and then stick to it forever.
Yeah. Today, people don't want to fight through it. It's so easy to divorce, you know what I'm saying? But it's not easy to stay together.
What caused the divorce in the first place? And how long into the first marriage was it?
We're 4 years into the marriage. But I thought it was okay. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was okay to
mess around.
To do my thing. Yeah, to do my thing. And fortunately, I had a good friend that said that I was messing up, that I had the best woman that anybody ever wanted, you know, and it was for a good friend of mine to tell me that, for me to chase her.
During your split, did you think about him every day?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
It's hard because I felt punished because I was like, I'm not going to do this. But at the same time, like I'm separating from my husband that I love, and that I'm like, I felt like, why do I have to separate from him when I didn't do anything wrong? Right. And then I found out I was pregnant.
How did that change your mental when it came on to the relationship between you and him?
I tried to do it on my own after. My mom was the one who came to me and she's like, Mia, if you think you can make your marriage work, make your marriage work. And I was like, okay. So I called him and I was like, I think I made a mistake divorcing you. And then we got remarried and I was like pregnant out here.
Back then, we didn't even have cell phones. She texted me on the pager and I called her back on a payphone.
This guy had something most men today have lost, a true friend. Because what made him go back to his woman wasn't a podcast or some empty advice on the internet. It was another man who told him the harsh truth to his face. You're letting go of a woman who loves you. And the woman, instead of acting with that typical modern pride, also admitted she made a mistake. You don't see that today. Nowadays, everything gets justified with I deserve more or I wasn't happy. It's true that maintaining a relationship today is hard, especially with all the toxic advice out there and all the benefits women get for leaving their marriage. But congratulations to this couple. The one who wasn't so lucky is the girl in the next video.
She is not withholding sex from you. I am a divorced woman. I will tell you why the sex has stopped and why the dead bedroom has begun. You remind her too much of her small children. All day long, she's at home, can barely take a shower, brush her teeth, or take a shit in peace without somebody screaming and crying.
What gets me about this mindset is how the fuck do we emasculate your husband to the point that you're using and dangling sex in front of him like he's a fucking child, and then get mad at him for acting childlike. And basically, if he's not on good behavior, he doesn't get a reward.
I mean, let's be so for real. At this point, some of y'all just need to start a fucking color chart, and every time he's on blue or purple, which is good behavior, that means he can get some kind of sex, because that's how y'all treat it. Women will almost never acknowledge the part that they play in it, where they manipulate a man by dangling sex in front of him until they win him over. And then once they get settled in and real life happens, she stops having sex because she faked her entire personality to win you over. Only then, later on, she can use it against you and say that you're controlling her through sex, that you're coercing her, that you're forcing her, that you're not emotionally available, you're rude, you're selfish for initiating, even though she set the standard to begin with. Oh, right. But, faking your entire personality and how much sex you want to have in a relationship just to win a man over isn't manipulative as fuck at all. Okay. And I don't know what woman needs to understand this, but if you're withholding sex to get your husband or your boyfriend to act a certain way, you're being manipulative as fuck, you're emasculating him, you're not making him happy in the relationship, and he's not going to do things for you if you're going to make him feel like shit. Okay, bye.
Fuck up, you crazy bitch whore!
Just to be clear, the first woman is divorced, and she's completely nuts. But she did say something true. Intimacy nowadays is often used by many women as a weapon against their husbands. If the guy does something right, he gets rewarded. If he messes up, he gets nothing. As a man, this is disappointing because you know she's not doing anything genuinely. She's just doing it to get past the situation. And as a man, you notice it. That's why you see relationships with dead bedrooms, couples who can't stand each other. To any man watching this who's going through something similar, I'd say, be clear with your woman. And if she doesn't change, leave her. Life's too short to get used to living badly. That's exactly what that woman's ex-husband did.
All right, divorce question of the day. What is something nobody warned you about divorce? For me personally, it's how isolating and lonely it can be. I'm actually the only female in all of my friend group that's divorced. So that was extremely isolating and hard to navigate without having anybody know what I'm going through. They tried to sympathize, but they don't get it. And that's kind of why I leaned into TikTok. And I think that's what really helped me at the end of the day is connect with other individuals who are going through or already went through something very similar. So what is something that nobody warned you about when it came to divorce? I think we all knew it was going to be hard, not fun, but I never knew how isolating and lonely it could be if you didn't have anybody else that had gone through it before who could give you advice or at least tell you you're going to be okay. I hope none of my friends join me in this divorce life, but I am here for them if that day ever comes. Like, no one was actually truly there for me because they didn't experience it themselves. So again, I hope I never have to help any of my friends through this, but I know I'll be able to.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
This isn't just a divorce issue. It's a reflection of the emptiness many women feel when they lose the social role that marriage gave them. It's no coincidence that when a woman gets divorced, many of her married friends start to distance themselves. It's not because they're judging her. It's because they know her energy and focus have changed. And yes, divorce often comes with resentment, constant complaints, and toxic comparisons. What man would want his wife surrounded by that? This isn't about stigmatizing divorce. It's about self-preservation. Divorce is contagious, not legally, but emotionally. People are shaped by their environment. And if your best friend lives on Tinder, talks about how free she feels, and keeps telling you your husband doesn't deserve you, one day you're going to believe it. Of course, as a man, I'd tell my wife, I don't want you spending too much time with so-and-so, because she'd be a bad influence. It's no coincidence, they say. If all your friends or sisters are divorced, you'll be next. Birds of a feather flock together. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, the questions are for you. What do you think about these divorced women? Has your wife or girlfriend ever shown you any recognition in the relationship? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Your support means the world to us and motivates us to create more content. Stay tuned for the next exciting video from the wall.